I learned in the military that the most dangerous enemy isn't the one you can see, it's the one you trust behind your back. The flight from Germany landed 3 hours early. A mechanical issue had grounded our original aircraft, so they shuffled us onto a commercial flight that left 6 hours ahead of schedule. I didn't call Melissa. I wanted to surprise her. After 8 months in deployment, I pictured her face when I walked through the door. I imagined her crying, holding me, telling me how much she missed me. I should have called. The Uber dropped me off at 11:47 p.m. Our neighborhood was dead silent, the kind of quiet you only get in suburbs where everyone's asleep by 10. Our house sat at the end of a cul-de-sac, the porch light off. That was the first strange thing. Melissa always left it on when I was away. She said it made her feel less alone. I used my key. The door opened without a sound. I'd oiled those hinges myself before I left, a small thing I did because Melissa hated squeaky doors. The living room was dark, but I could see the flicker of a candle coming from upstairs. The second strange thing, then I heard it, a voice, male, laughing. My wife's voice followed, softer, playful. I stood in my own entryway, duffel bag still on my shoulder, and felt my entire body go cold. Not angry, not yet, just cold. Like someone had injected ice water into my veins. I set the bag down carefully, took out my phone, opened the camera app, then I started walking upstairs, each step deliberate and silent. 8 months of combat training teaches you how to move without making sound. I'd used those skills in dangerous places. Never thought I'd use them in my own home. The bedroom door was halfway open. Candles everywhere, the expensive ones Melissa used to save for special occasions. Our bed, the one we'd picked out together 3 years ago, had 2 people in it, my wife and my best friend Trevor, not a stranger, not some random guy from a bar. Trevor. Man who'd helped me move into this house, who'd barbecued in our backyard every 4th of July, who'd hugged me at the airport when I deployed and promised to look after Melissa. I guess he took that seriously. I stood there recording for 30 seconds. Neither of them noticed. They were too wrapped up in each other. Melissa was wearing the necklace I'd sent her for our anniversary, a silver pendant with our initials. She was wearing it while sleeping with my best friend. I didn't storm in. I didn't yell. I backed away, went downstairs, grabbed my duffel and walked out the front door. The whole thing took maybe 2 minutes. I drove to a hotel near the base, checked in, sat on the edge of the bed and watched the video 3 times. Each time I felt less, not more angry, less of everything. Numb. At 6:47 a.m. I forwarded the video to my phone's secure folder and encrypted it. Then I called my platoon leader's husband, a divorce attorney named Vincent Morales. I'd met him at a company barbecue the year before. Nice guy, sharp. Vincent, it's Garrett. I need representation today if possible. He didn't ask questions, just gave me an address and a time, 9:00 a.m. By 9:47 a.m. I'd signed paperwork. Vincent had already reviewed the video. He told me 3 things. First, my case was airtight. Second, I should not contact Melissa or Trevor yet. Third, I should document everything and stay somewhere she couldn't find me. Military deployments complicate asset division, he explained, but infidelity simplifies it, especially with evidence this clear. I asked him how long the process would take. If she doesn't contest, 3 months. If she fights, 6, maybe 8. Make it fast, I said. That afternoon I went to our bank and opened a new account, transferred exactly half of our joint savings, my legal right, Vincent confirmed. I cancelled my credit card that she had access to. Changed passwords on every account we shared. Email, Netflix, Amazon, everything. Wasn't trying to hurt her. I was protecting myself. By 4:00 p.m. I'd rented a small apartment across town. 1 bedroom, basic furniture, month-to-month lease. I didn't need much that evening. Vincent's office served Melissa with divorce papers. A process server knocked on our door at 6:13 p.m. I know because I asked for the timestamp. My phone rang 17 times that night. All from Melissa. I didn't answer. She left voicemails. The first 3 were confused. Garrett, what's happening? Please call me. The next 5 were panicked. This is insane. We need to talk. The last 9 were angry. You can't just do this without talking to me. I deleted everyone without listening all the way through. Trevor called twice. I blocked his number after the second attempt. 3 days later, Vincent called me. She wants to meet, says she can explain everything. Explain what? I asked. I have video evidence. That's what I told her attorney. But she's insistent. She says you don't understand the full situation. I almost laughed. There's nothing to understand. I agree, but legally we should let her say whatever she wants to say. It might help us if she admits anything on record. We agreed to a mediation session. Lawyers present, neutral location, everything documented. Melissa showed up looking destroyed. Hair unwashed, no makeup, wearing sweatpants. She'd lost weight. I felt nothing. She tried to hold my hand across the table. I pulled away. Garrett, please don't, I said. Her lawyer, a woman named Patricia, cleared her throat. Let's keep this professional. Vincent laid out the terms. I wanted a clean split, 50-50 on assets. I'd keep the car I paid for. She could have the house if she bought out my half. No alimony on either side. Divorce finalized as quickly as possible. Melissa started crying. You won't even let me explain. There's nothing to explain. It wasn't what it looked like. I have video, I said. Of you and Trevor in our bed. I don't need explanations. She broke down completely then, sobbing, mascara running, hands shaking. Patricia tried to comfort her. I stared at the wall. I made a mistake, Melissa finally said. Trevor and I, it was only a few times. I was lonely. You were gone for so long. 8 months, I interrupted. I was deployed for 8 months doing my job and you couldn't wait. It meant nothing. It meant everything, I said. It meant you're not the person I thought you were. The mediation ended with nothing resolved. Melissa refused to sign, said she needed time to think. Vincent told me that was expected. She'll sign eventually, he said. They always do. 2 weeks later, Trevor showed up at my apartment. I don't know how he found out where I lived. He knocked, called my name, begged me to open the door. I called the police instead. They escorted him off the property. I filed a restraining order the next day. Melissa's parents called me. Her father, a retired Marine, sounded broken. Garrett, I don't know what happened, but Melissa's devastated. Can't you two work this out? Sir, with all respect, you should ask your daughter what happened. She said there was a misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding. I didn't tell him about the video. That was between me, Melissa, and the court, but I think he knew. His voice changed, got quieter. I'm sorry, son. Me too, sir. 6 weeks after I filed, Melissa signed the papers. No contest. Vincent called it a total capitulation. We split everything 50-50. I got my car, my personal belongings, my military benefits. She got the house but had to refinance to buy out my equity. I walked away with $140,000 and my dignity. The divorce was finalized on a Tuesday morning. I sat in the courtroom in my dress uniform, watched the judge sign the decree and felt absolutely nothing. No relief, no sadness, just nothing. Melissa wasn't there. Her attorney appeared on her behalf. Afterward, Vincent shook my hand. You handled this better than most people would have. I just wanted it done, I said. What now? I thought about that. Now I move on. I blocked Melissa's number that afternoon, deleted every photo of her from my phone, boxed up the last few things she'd left in my apartment and dropped them at Goodwill. Trevor tried to reach out one more time through a mutual friend. Sent a long message about how sorry he was, how it was eating him alive, how he'd lost his best friend and didn't know how to fix it. I told the friend to tell Trevor there was nothing to fix. Some things once broken don't go back together. 3 months later, I heard through the grapevine that Melissa and Trevor had broken up. Apparently guilt and shame aren't great foundations for a relationship. Who knew I didn't care? I threw myself into work, took on extra assignments. Volunteered for training exercises, stayed busy. Some guys at the base invited me out for drinks. I went a few times, started remembering what it felt like to laugh. A year after the divorce, I met someone new. Her name was Alana. She was a physical therapist on base, smart, funny, no drama. We took things slow. I told her about Melissa on our 4th date. She listened, didn't judge, didn't try to fix me. That must have been awful, she said. It was, I admitted. But I'm okay now. And I was. People ask me sometimes if I regret how I handled it. If I wish I'd confronted Melissa, yelled, made a scene. The answer is no. I handled it the way I was trained to handle threats, quickly, efficiently, emotionally detached. I identified the problem, gathered intelligence, executed a plan, and extracted myself from danger. Some people think that's cold. Maybe it is, but I didn't survive 8 months in a combat zone by letting emotions cloud my judgment. And I wasn't about to start in my personal life. The truth is, I don't think about Melissa much anymore. When I do, it's not with anger or pain. It's more like remembering a bad mission, something that happened, something I survived, something that taught me who I could trust. Betrayal doesn't make you weaker, it just makes you smarter. I learned that in the military and I proved it in my marriage.